What's up friends, it's Keshav here, and today we're going to talk about hybrid absorber diffusers, or some people call them diffusorbers, or others say abfusers. I don't really know if I like either of those names, so I'm going to stick with absorber diffuser. So these are a type of acoustic panel that traditionally scatters high frequencies and absorbs low to mid frequencies. They typically feature a hard surface with a mathematically calculated sequence of holes or slots with spacings in between them. Behind the surface is an absorptive material like fiberglass or rock wool. The openings are calculated in such a way that they scatter and diffuse the high frequencies, but they allow low and mid frequencies to pass through and get absorbed by the absorptive material. These two orange panels on my back wall are hybrid absorber diffusers that were generously provided by Kinetics Noise Control, the sponsor of today's video. They call these panels tuned absorber diffusers, or TAD, and they scatter sound above around 1 kilohertz, and they absorb sound down to about 60 hertz, which is super impressive considering that it's only a 4-inch or 100 millimeter thick panel. Now you might be wondering, why do you even need such a panel? Why wouldn't you want to absorb the high frequencies? Hybrid absorber diffusers have a couple different use cases. In rooms with carpet and soft materials like drapery, it's easy to over-absorb the high frequencies once you start adding in acoustic panels. This is what we call a dead room, which is a room with a very low reverberation time. Often these rooms are imbalanced, where the high frequencies have a much shorter reverberation time than the lows and the mids. In this case, you can use panels like the TAD to just treat the mid-range and below and retain life in the higher frequency range. As an acoustician, I employ these in most of my home theater and studio designs. The home theaters especially need them because usually these rooms have very thick carpet and big soft couches. Those materials kill the reverb time in the high frequencies. So I specify a lot of TAD panels to balance out the reverb time in the mids and the lows. You can also use these type of panels to treat your sidewall first reflections, using the diffusive properties of the panel to widen and enhance the stereo image of your speakers. I'm using these on my back wall because the 4-inch TAD has much better low frequency absorption than a typical 4-inch absorber. That hard surface on the front of the panel acts as a membrane pressure absorber, which is an added benefit of this type of panel. The TAD and panels like it use what's known as an amplitude grating diffuser on the front face. This is different from a phase grating diffuser, which is the type of acoustic panel that most people think of when they picture a diffuser. The advantage of the amplitude grating diffuser is that it is effective at a much closer distance than the phase grating diffuser, making it ideal for small rooms that need diffusion. With phase grating diffusers, you generally need a minimum distance between you and the panel that is 3 times the wavelength of the lowest frequency the diffuser can scatter. This can range anywhere between 3 and 10 feet or 1 and about 3 meters, depending on the diffuser that you're using. Now, I'll admit that most beginner studios probably don't need a hybrid absorber diffuser because usually they're lacking just normal acoustic panels in general. But if you're serious and want to acoustically treat your room properly, then you might want to look into these type of panels. I would recommend taking an acoustic measurement of your room. You can do this with a measurement microphone like the U-Mic by Mini DSP with some software like Room EQ Wizard, which is free. You can analyze the frequency response and reverberation time of your room and get the appropriate panels and place them in the correct locations. If you don't have any experience in acoustics but still want a great sounding room, then I would highly recommend you consult with an acoustician such as myself or the many ones out there and get some sound advice. For all your acoustic needs, check out Kinetics Noise Control. They have everything from the acoustic panels you saw in this video to acoustic doors, industrial noise attenuators, room isolation hardware so you can build a room within a room like in high-end studios, and much more, so definitely give their website a visit. Speaking of websites, I have a website now, it's called durosci.com, and you can get project files. I'm working on some sample packs, and of course you can hit me up on there for mixing, mastering, stem mastering, etc. But hopefully this was helpful. Stay creative, my friends. Peace.